Hi guys, it's Tracy. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm actually going to be doing a book review on Good Omens by Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman. And Good Omens is actually an adult fantasy novel, but Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman are frequent YA novelists. I think they write a lot of YA fantasy. So when I picked this up, I was super excited because this is a great collaboration between two great authors. To explain Good Omens, I think I'm actually going to read the blurb because this is the main reason why I picked up this book. The blurb explains it perfectly. It really, I guess, intrigued me, and then I wanted to really read the book. So, there is a hint of Armageddon in the air, according to the nice and accurate prophecies of Agnes Nutter, which, as recorded in 1655, the world will end on a Saturday, next Saturday in fact. Armies of good and evil are massing, the four bikers of the apocalypse are revving up their mighty hogs and hitting the road, and the world's last two remaining witchfinders are getting ready to fight the good fight. Atlantis is rising, frogs are falling, tempers are flaring, and everything appears to be going to divine plan. All that's required now is the Antichrist. There's just one glitch. Someone seems to have misplaced him. Tell me, after hearing that blurb, as if you wouldn't read this book, I thought it was going to be one of the most hilarious books I've ever read. I do understand that religion is serious and that I have respect for a lot of other religions, but this misplacing the Antichrist right before, the end of the world is supposed to happen, and then the entire adventure there was just an opportunity that I didn't want to miss out on reading about. I found that I liked it, but at the same time I didn't. And it did take me a while to sort of wrap my head around how I really felt about this book, what was actually going on, things like that. The book itself is about 400 pages, which isn't a huge book. It's not thick, but it's actually very dense, and you have to sort of trawl through the entire thing. And I think that's one thing that put me off the actual book itself, because I felt like I was trudging through and I only really wanted to reach the end. I hate reading a book where I feel relieved at the end because I'm done with it, that's it, because it doesn't make the experience enjoyable. And that was sort of how Good Omens was like for me. I just wanted to get to the end of it so I could read a new book. On the other hand though, it was actually really funny. I found the characters, and they're actually listed all in here so that you remember who they are. I'll show you quickly. You've got like a full script, or like I guess a lineup of who is in the book just there, which was a really good reference because there are a lot of characters in this book and you have to really pay attention because sometimes they'll pop up and then they won't pop up again until maybe like 200 pages later, and then you're like, who is this person? So this book is something you have to read with a lot of thought, because otherwise if you're just going to fly through it like I did, I found that it flew over my head. I did though, like I said, really enjoy the humour of it. The two main characters in here are Demon and Angel, who's been sent to Earth as their mission, one to stop the Armageddon happening, and the other one is to make sure that it happens. But because they've lived on Earth for so long, they've started to adapt to human behaviour and how we work, and it's affected the way that they think, how they process things. They aren't really just purely good or purely evil anymore. And a lot of this book actually talks about that, talks about human life, how the earth revolves and how it works, how we as people affect each other, things like that. So it's all about the meaning of life really, and our purpose in life. And I really enjoyed that because I thought that Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman masked that really well in their personifications of these different characters. Because you've got the four bikers of the apocalypse, and they are supposed to represent four of the world's most nastiest things, so pollution. So you've got death, war, famine, pollution, and these four things are the four things that humans have created themselves really, except for death obviously, although I guess that's part of being a human, that's our cycle. And these four things are the things that are going to ruin our world, and if you really pay attention to it, this personification is pretty much representing our world, the bad of it, the good of it, things like that. But I thought it was a very creative and very genius way of, relaying a message or making this story, even though it is supposed to be really humorous and really silly, actually a lot more meaningful than it is. There are other side characters, but I didn't really care a lot for them, and maybe that's one of the other reasons why I didn't enjoy it as much, is because I felt that they were just shoved into there. They obviously added some element to the story, but I felt like it wasn't necessary. Some of the parts that came up, I just couldn't be bothered. I just flipped through them really quickly because I was like, this isn't gonna mean anything by the end of this novel. And it just made me feel like they weren't worth me remembering. I do understand that they're added in here for a reason, but just for me, was just meh. Like, I really couldn't care less. What I really enjoyed about this book though was probably the core meaning of it, which is really emphasized at the end of the novel, is an individual and how their behavior is affected, not just because of how they're raised or how they were born and, you know, biologically their genes and things like that, but of the influences around them, your experiences in life, the people you meet. These are the things that will make you who you are, and it really reflects well in here. Good Omens makes you think, and that's a really good thing, but at the same time, if you're not in the mood for a type of book like this, then you're not going to be able to enjoy it, because it's just going to be one of those books where you're like, I've had enough, I'm so over this. Good Omens is a book that I think can be reread, and you will probably be able to pick up a lot more than when you first read the book. Now that I think about it, I definitely would enjoy it more if I, say, read it in the near future or so. Partly the reason why I didn't like it was because I just wanted to read other books instead of this, but I picked it up and then I couldn't not read it. But that's just me. Originally, I gave Good Omens a 3 out of 5 stars. I would say I am going to give this a 3.5, almost 4 stars. But my mind might change if I do read it again sometime soon. If you guys have read this book though, leave a comment down below letting me know what you thought about this, if you liked it or not, if you are planning to read it if you haven't read it. Otherwise, that's it for today. I hope you guys have a lovely day and I shall see you guys soon. Bye!